and welcome to my Flosstube number 14. My name is Esther, and I'm the Danish stitcher. It has been a while since I've been here the last time. Actually, it's 3.5 months ago since I last made a video. First of all, school started again. I'm a teacher, and I lost my stitching book. And I had this surgery for middle ear cholesteatoma, or whatever it's called in English. I'm not going to say that much about the surgery, but it took between 5 and 5.5 hours for the procedure. And they had to clean a lot in my ears. Sorry, it's my cats. I don't know what they're doing actually, but they are a bit noisy. After the surgery, I had 3 weeks where my ear was completely filled with gauze, or gaze, or whatever you call it in English. And imagine that you have some stuff in your ear for such a long time, and it starts itching. And it itches, and it itches. And I was almost going out of my mind, going completely bonkers, because it itched that much. But last Wednesday I went to the hospital, and they took it out, and now I can scratch my ear when I have an itch. I still got some problems. I have resound in my head when I talk, and therefore I might have to make some breaks while recording this video because because of the resound in my head. But this video is also kind of a test to see when I will be ready for my job again, because as a teacher I have to talk a lot in noisy environments, so that's why. So I thought it might be a good idea to try to record a new video and to see how much I'm bothered by the resound in my head. Because of all these things that have happened, I have not been shopped as I usually do. But I do have something to show you, because last weekend I shopped a lot, and I did receive my stuff from Casa Cenina. And I also had some stuff I had bought before, and also stuff from a Danish web shop. This year in January I joined the WIPGO for 2021 because I thought that was a very fun idea and I would like to do it. And at that time I stitched a lot and I didn't see it as a problem. However, I must admit that since I didn't know that I would lose my stitching book for 3.5 months, I have decided that I'm going to skip WIPGO for this year, and then I will try again next year, and I will not have, I think I have about 15 new starts on this year's WIPGO, and I think next year I will pick maybe 4 or 5 projects and only 1 new starts, and then I will work on these projects during the WIPGO, because then there's a bigger chance that I can actually succeed. Okay, let's get started for real. In my last, that was not my floss tube. It was a floss tube, but it was actually my first whip parade. I showed you this one, Danish sampler, that I had started. This one. And I also said that I'm not going to finish this one because I find it boring to stitch. The stuff I found most interesting to stitch are these borders here. And therefore I was asking you what you think I should do with it, and several of you wrote in your comments that you would like to finish it, and of course keep it. So I have decided that I'm going to make it as a giveaway. You will get this, you can see my backside. It's not one of my worst backsides, so you will get this, and you will get all the floss. I will put a picture up and show you what floss it is, so you can see all the colors. Of course, you will also receive the original pattern and the conversion of the colors which I have used, because this is Danish flower thread, and I converted it into DMC. And of course you will get this as well, and I will put everything in this one, and then I will ship it to you. And it doesn't matter where you live. It might be a bit expensive to ship, but I really want this to be finished by someone who will appreciate it a lot more than I will. So if you're interested in winning this one, please write a comment, and please don't use the words giveaway, win, prize, etc. But please write a comment wherein you write the words Danish sampler. So speaking of my Flosstube, at the moment I have started stitching again, but I don't stitch as much as I used to. For example, I haven't stitched for the last 3 days. But I haven't lost my stitching book, but there have been other things that I would prefer to do instead. I think I will not make an update every second week anymore. It will be more like a monthly update, because then I will have something to show. Otherwise, I will only be able to show, for example, 100 or 200 stitches, and that's not interesting to watch. So, luckily, I do have a lot of things to show you today, because, as I told you before, my stitching book is back, and I did some finishes. Actually, I have 3 whips, I have 3 FOs, and I have 8 fully finished objects. So maybe we should just start. We'll start with the whips, and the first, as I said, I only have 3, and the first one is what I call the star pillow. This is from a Danish not a magazine, a book with old Danish patterns, and I'm using Sedas silk called Oxide, and I love the way it looks. And I think I'm going to, yeah, the name says it, I call it star pillow, so it's going to be a pillow. But I really like the way this variegated silk looks. I still have a lot of Halloween, but I recently finished 3 Halloween whips, and now Halloween is over for this year, and I put all my Halloween aside, and then I slowly have started on Christmas stitching. The only Christmas whip I've been working on is Shannon Christine's Winter Snowfall, and I haven't done a lot. I have finished the tree, and then I have stitched this, and that's it. As I told you in my whip parade, James Masters is my favorite actor, and after finishing 2 spike portraits, I started a portrait of Captain John Hart from Torchwood, and this is how far I got. And this is an 18 count opalescent Ada with a call for DMC, and it has 150 different colors, and some of the colors only have 4 or 10 stitches, but I think it's looking very good. And if you want to see the backside, I don't care how my backsides look, but as long as it's not too messy, but actually I think the backside looks okay. So I haven't stitched on this for a month or more, or 3 months. Actually, I don't know when was the last time I stitched this one. Finished objects, or FOs. I have been stitching this Haunted House trio by Wax and Moon Designs. As you can see, I have all 3 here, and I only finished this one, the one I call Creepy House. I skipped the French knots. Actually, I don't know how to do French knots, and I didn't want to use beads on this one, so yeah. And it's on a 16 count Ada, hand dyed by me, and I used the call for and some of the colors I pulled from my stash. The next one I finished is Poison Jack by Olaf in Stitch. Oops. And it hasn't been ironed. I forgot it. That's on 14 count hand dyed Ada. Again, Ada I dyed. And the color used, the thread is called Week's Eye Work Trick or Treat. I think it looks okay, but if I could do it again, and I will not, I will probably have chosen some darker fabric to make the thread pop more. But as it looks, I think it's okay, and I will probably turn it into a little pillow, a decoration pillow. I also finished the Casa Stragata, the witch's house, also by Olaf in Stitch, and I love the colors. There are only 4 colors in it, and I think it's so beautiful. There are about 8,000 stitches, and I stitched, I will put up the photo, then you can see how it looked, and then I finished it in 3 or 4 days. That means I stitched almost half of the stitches, if not more. And this was what got my stitching book back. So I don't know what I will do with it. Maybe I will frame it, or I will make it into a pillow. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. So that were my works in progress and my finished objects. And now to the fully finished objects. We have Hello Petal by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I have used some white hangers, and it's also on hand dyed Ada 16 count. I'm doing all mine. I'm stitching. Yeah, I have the whip for Hello Sunshine, but I'm still on part 1. But I did finish the winter one, Hello Dear, and I finished this one, and they are all on 16 count Ada, but different colors of Ada. And I have also bought Hello Pumpkin, so eventually I'm going to make that as well. So that was Hello Petal. Some of you might remember that I stitched this, what's it called? House of Christmas by Galliana Cross Stitch. I found an old hanger and it's quite big. So this is coming up around December 1st. And I like the way it looks. I like to have hangers on a lot of stuff, because then I can just put it on the wall and take it down again. Okay, then we have 4 left. I did finish some of my Halloween. So this is into a little pillow, and that's a fabric. That's some new fabric I bought. This is called Halloween Castle. It's from Just Cross Stitch magazine 2020. It's on 14 count hand dyed Aida, and the white color is glow in the dark. This one is called Witching Halloween, and it has got the same fabric on the backside. It's on 25 count, what do you call it? Even weave, called Mushroom, and the color is Gentle Art Simply Shaker Black Licorice, or however you pronounce that word. Some English words are so difficult for me to pronounce, so you have to bear with me. And it's got the same fabric. And then we have October the 31st. It's from Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2020. And as you can see, the spider, I used 2 beads. And the same fabric as well. And then, of course, my spike logo. It's also been put into a pillow, where I used some red beads for blood. And the fabric is some Buffy fabric I found on Spoonflower. I will tell you more about Spoonflower in a while, when we get to the Curator's Corner. I also fully finished the 2 spike portraits. I will put up a photo, and because they are quite big, and if I would show them here in front of the camera, there would be way too much reflection, and instead I have filmed them on the wall, and I will put that video in here. The brown one, the sepia one, is on 16 count Aida rustic whiteboard and the call for DMC, and the other one is on 18 count easy count and also the call for DMC. Yeah, that were my projects. So now it's time for Curator's Corner. Welcome to Curator's Corner, and I do have stuff to show you today. First, I would actually like to show you this catalog. It's the only cross-stitch catalog in Denmark that I know of. I mean, Permin of Copenhagen, they also have, but this is a shop. So this is the only shop catalog of cross-stitch that I know of in Denmark. I get it 3 or 4 times a year, and I have never bought any of the cross-stitch kits from it, but since I usually buy my hangers there, and they are not cheap, I get the catalog by mail. I think I mentioned in my first Flosstube that we didn't have that many options here in Denmark when it came to cross stitch. I think I called it a bit old-fashioned, the way we treated cross stitch in Denmark. But luckily it is beginning to change. There are more small web shops that do have different kind of color fabric, for example. But a lot of the times it's very expensive. This company, Atelier Margaretha, it's a Scandinavian or Nordic, I don't remember. Nordic. They are quite traditional, or what I call old-fashioned. I'm going to show you some of the kits. You can see I have picked out some of them, and some. I'm going to show you some of the kits you can buy. I will also mention some of the prices, and it really annoys me that you can not buy the pattern alone. You can only buy the kits, because I have a full DMC set, so I don't need to buy kits. And also I have quite a lot of fabric, as you probably know, so I don't need to buy kits. So, and now we have Felix. So as you can see, typical Christmas, because this is the winter program or catalog, but there are also other stuff in it. I have picked quite a lot because I thought you might like to watch. And this one. Actually, these two, the red and the green, they are like old goblins to put on the wall. They look a bit like pandemic samplers or something like that. And now comes a lot of Christmas stuff, and I'm not going Felix. I'm not going to show you all of them because I think they're about 20 pages or something like that. But I will show you some of them. I think there are a lot of cute patterns, but I will... First of all, I have plenty of patterns. I have so many patterns and I haven't stitched yet. So I don't need more patterns. And actually I'm quite proud of myself because I haven't bought any patterns the last 3-4 months, I think. And more Christmas stuff. Okay, and here you see how many choices we have when we are going to buy fabric. Woohoo! Look, 5 different colors. White, ecru, dark blue, red and black. Aren't we a lucky bunch here in Denmark? So many options. And I think yeah, if you see, they do not call them count, so you always have to calculate. I know now because because of practice, I know that 5.4 that equals count 14, and they actually have up till 18 count. That's 7.2. And then you can get linen and no even weave. So I'm not impressed. Here you can see some of the hangers. and some little frames you can buy as well. I have a lot of these red ones and some oval ones in red as well. I think I have 15. I don't know why I bought that many. Maybe I can give some of them for in a giveaway a time. And then we have scissors and lamps. Let me tell you a little bit about the prices of threads in Denmark. So, normal DMC, it's 17 Danish kroner for one. That's $2.6. If you want to buy the original DMC color card, you know, where the threads are, you have to pay 719 Danish kroner or $112. When I bought mine, I bought it from a little web shop and I paid less than 300 kroners. That means less than half the price. I think you know this with all the DMC colors. It costs 6,000 Danish kroners. That equals $931. So you can see it's quite expensive. So I think it's no wonder that I buy most of my cross-stitch stuff abroad. So, haul. This is actually my spike quote mug. I bought a lot of DMC, but I have already put it in my DMC thread boxes. So I would just put up a picture so you can see my DMC, my last purchase of DMC. I also bought other threads. I bought some Simply Shaker. Blackboard. And the word I love to pronounce, black licorice. Licorice. And these are called Autumn. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to use them for. I just thought they looked nice. I also bought some Weekstay Works. These one are called Pumpkin. I love orange. And these one are called Carrot. And this one is called Dahlia. And then I bought different kinds of, on the screen they looked red. I mean, now I got them. They are definitely not red, all of them. But you can see them here. As you can see, they're not red, all of them. This one is called Lancaster Red. And this one is called Raspberry. I think it works. Oh, I better use the paper. And then we have Louisiana Hot Sauce, Red Rocks, and Blaze. Also, I don't know what I'm going to use these for, but I was curious to find out how the red colors were looking in real life, and that's why I bought different kind of red for a future project, which I don't know yet. So, floss rings, because I accidentally, when I shopped last weekend, I visited Mrs. Sedas. So I have another 2 hanks coming my way. I mean, it's not that I do not have any silks. Actually, I have quite a lot of silks. I have silks for the next 20 projects, and I just love Sedas silk. So, oh well. I bought another scissor holder, and I forgot to bring a scissor. But you just put the scissor in here, and then you do not destroy the tip of it. So I have 3 others like this, because I do collect scissors. I haven't bought any scissors in the last 3 or 4 months. That means I ordered one yesterday, but the one I ordered yesterday is a special one. So, but it will take at least 3 or 4 weeks before I get it. So, because it's customized. What else? Yeah, I do make needle minders still, and I bought some new magnets. I didn't know they were they had this size. I thought they were bigger, but I hope they will work anyway. I found these buttons in a Danish web shop, and I bought 3 of them. I think they're so cute, and I'm going to turn them into needle minders. I also bought some badges. Again, spike. I have a lot of reflection. I have 6 of them, but one of them is in use. Maybe you saw it. It's on the Christmas, the Shannon Christine. But I made them into needle minders. Then I bought these thumb pads, because I don't, it's probably because I stitch in hand, because my fingers, the skin of my fingers, I constantly put the needle into my fingers, not on purpose, but yeah, I think those of you who stitch in hand probably know that problem. So I bought a lot of these, because I use 2 at a time. One on my left finger and one here or here. Well, these ones I bought in a little Danish patchwork shop, and I thought they would arrive pretty soon, and they didn't. I think it took almost a week before they arrived, but she wrote, I'm really yeah, it's in Danish, but I'm really sorry that it has been delayed. And then she gave me some fabric for free. And it's in autumn colors. That's half the size. You see, I don't know why. It's probably the light, because it's brown. It's not this red color, it's brown. I will put up a photo so you can see it in the correct colors. And also the same goes for this one. It's a little more reddish brown, but still it's not that red. I will put up a photo of that as well. So I think that's a fat quarter. Isn't this about a fat quarter? I think. Oh, maybe it's a little less. Never mind. I will put up photos so you can see the real colors. Speaking of fabric, I accidentally, that happens quite a lot of times in my case, accidentally I bought some more fabric for cross stitching. I bought 2 meters of 16 count Ada. That's probably for dyeing, because I love to dye my fabric. But you see, I have a plan. I don't know if it's going to work, but I actually have a plan that I'm not allowed to buy any more fabric this year. And therefore I desperately needed to have some fabric in the house in case I suddenly wanted to dye something. So 2 meters of white Aida. This is 18 count Confederate gray. That's about a fat quarter. The colors are really awful today. That must be because of the gray weather. And when I showed you John Hart, the Captain John Hart, it was on a 16 count opalescent Aida. Sorry, 18 count. And actually, I got 3 more pieces, the same size, a little more than a fat quarter. Maybe you can see, yeah, you can see it here. But because I bought it to start John Hart, I already cut the rest of the fabric in pieces, so they are ready to use. I also bought a fat quarter of opalescent in 16 count, and this one is 18 count. It's called Lurex Argento, also a fat quarter, and I think it's for some Christmas stuff eventually. And then I bought some even weave, 25 count vintage June, and I think it's beautiful. So that was the fabric for cross stitch. As I showed you before on my pillows, I had some new fabric. I had this and I forgot to bring it here. So I bought this on Spoonflower. Spoonflower is an American company where small designers can upload their designs, and then when you order what kind of fabric you want the print to be printed. So it's printed fabric, and you order how many meters, or if it's a fat quarter or whatever. And luckily for us Europeans, they have a branch in Berlin. That means I do not have to pay customs and extra taxes. I can just order it on spoonflower.com, and when they have my address, they tell me when I'm going to pay that they will ship it from Berlin. And I have just ordered 14. Did I really say 14? Well, it's true. 14 new fabrics, because the other day I was a bit bored and I wanted to spend some money. And I think I spent about 2 hours on the website, because they have more than 1 million different designs. And the next order has been shipped, but it hasn't arrived yet. But I will show you my fabrics in the next Flosstube, because when I said I'm not allowed to buy more fabric this year, it was cross-stitch fabric, even weave Aida, stuff like that. Not that I need any other. So maybe I should just say fabric, no more fabric. But let's see if I can do that. I am not sure, but let's hope. Anyway, let's move on to the fabric. This one is called Halloween Bats Purple. And of course I bought some Halloween fabric because I want to have something to put on the back side of the pillows, the Halloween pillows. And you can see it's printed, because they print the size you want, and the back side looks like this. These fabrics, I have washed them and ironed them, so they are ready to use. This one is called Halloween ravens and cats. Oops. Halloween ravens and cats. And I showed you this Buffy fabric. It's called Buffy Gray. It looks like this. Again, upside down, so like this. And there were more Buffy fabrics. This one is called Vampire Slayer. Again, it's a fat quarter. Oh, maybe I should do this. And this one is called Buffy Vamp Arsenal. So stuff the site and Mr. Pointy. That's her stake. And of course there's a heart with a railroad spike in it. And then they had this Buffy cheetah. And I think you can know, I bought a meter of that, and I think you'll know why when I show it to you. So there are four different, bunnies, it must be bunnies. And if loving villains is wrong, I don't want to be right. And then we have evil, and then we have a logo. And again, you have the heart with a railroad spike in it. And those of you who know Buffy the Vampire Slayer know about Spike and railroad spikes, why he got his name. Okay, I guess that was about it, and I'm sorry that this video is actually going to be pretty long, but I did have a lot of stuff to show you. I'm still trying to get up to date with a lot of Flosstubers. I'm still way behind. I have decided just to watch the last one of the videos, because then eventually in 2 or 3 or 4 months I will be up to date. I think I follow too many Flosstubers. So that was it for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will be here on my next video as well. And until next time, take care. Bye.